Wrong screen. Friday night fun. What else you gonna do on Friday night, right? Do something a little different. I don't know about a hammer time just yet. So, about as much as we got as a sheetrock saw and a big screwdriver, we could slam it with, right? So, Miller time. Yeah. I wonder why the chat watch the chat box will start working halfway through the stream for some reason. Oh, cool. Suffolk County Sheriff. So you actually the real sheriff or just a deputy? No ballroom dancing. You probably wouldn't want to watch that. There's plenty of. I'm sure there's other videos you could watch. Do that. This would be. Is that Johan? If you say that. It's like I'm getting my own notification, so I guess that's a good thing. So I've had this project on the desk for a couple days here. I did solder a couple wires to it, and maybe we will. I know some other ones wanting to see some soldering. Maybe we'll do something like that on if we get time, to one of the other little water detectors. So, but I wanted to show some of this one. I thought it was good to show because a lot of people have been asking recently about like, hey, how do I do XYZ device, and how do I know if it doesn't have, I tried all the pins, tried the little new device procedures where you set all the switches and you set all the relays to all the pins and nothing's happening. Well, typically it's probably due to a TuyaMCU. And what a TuyaMCU is, and I lost all of my stuff because my link crashed. I pulled up Firefox for some reason, and then everything just died. Let's see. Let's see if we can find my original document that I had up. The TuyaMCU. I'm finding everything else. I guess I'll drag this over here. I'm finding everything else other than, let's see, TuyaSmart. Maybe we'll do this one. Unless Frederico has a link or something. Let's see. Maybe we'll just pull this one out. I think this one has some of the stuff in it. So what the TuyaMCU, and I know we've covered some different videos on it before, is I know you say, well, what is this TuyaMCU? Because I know I've had people say, well, hey, I don't know if I have a TuyaMCU device. Let me see if I have one I can pull up here right quick. A live one. Here's one. Well, we can pull up ourselves. I'm dragging windows around, I'm not supposed to be. Let me drag this guy back over here. All thrown off. So the TuyaMCU it's basically, there's just going to be, so there's typically just a TX and a RX line that go to it. And there's no other pins. there's no like relays. There's no there's the whisper. Yeah, if he wants to join in, I may butcher some of this stuff because he's definitely taken the TuyaMCU to a whole different level. But basically, the way there's two templates, and because of if we look at the TY, I think it's TY. Is that one 2S? Well, that was loud. Let me turn these speakers down. So the module I have, and that's fine, Frederico, I appreciate it. Let me zoom this in. And I'm going to try not to go as fast as I normally try. I try to not keep a lot of dead air going on and stuff on the live streams, but I've heard from a couple of people I was moving through some stuff too fast, so I got to find that line there of where we don't have a lot of dead air and dragging stuff out versus going too fast. So there's typically, if you look at GPIO 1 and GPIO 3 is TX and RX. So if you see GPIO, I don't know if this one's a good one to go off of because it doesn't have, there's RX. Oh, here it is, RX and TX. Okay. So, but this one's a little, that module's a little different. Let me see the TYE3, because what I want to explain, we'll go off the FCC module, whatever. There's UART 0 and there's UART 1 typically, and this one doesn't show it, but sometimes there will be pins 13 and 15 that are used. So it's either going to be pins 1 and 3, and they'll be in TX and RX, and then I want to say, oh wait, I do have one that I have one the other way. It's the sync. Let me do a search for dimmer. If I can spell dimmer right. I haven't seen them any other way than this. And I'll pull it over here. So you've got this way, which is TX is on 1, 3, RX is on 3, and then you have the other way where you have, and I just remember it's backwards, where it's RX and then TX, and it's on 13 and 15. And that's going to be the UART 1 setup, and there's UART 0. So I haven't seen them any other way. Now, there's not saying that it can't be done the other way, but I just haven't seen it done. So this particular module I was looking at is going to be UART 1. And a lot of people say, well, how do I know if I have a TuyaMCU module? Well, an easy way to find out if you have, let me get my window straight here, so y'all not fussing at me. And the chat's not working on the screen anyway, so probably even cleaner, right? No annoying chat. So I'll do a weblog 4. And what weblog 4 is just, you can go do that in configure, I think it's configure logging, and turn on the console logging. And what you're going to see is like every 10 to 11 seconds, there's that heartbeat packet, and some devices require that heartbeat packet. And I know you're like, well, what is this TuyaMCU? And I know I kind of skipped through it. Think of it as you've got 2 computers inside the light switch. And I know it's not a whole, but just bear with me. Is the ESP chip is one computer, and then you've got the TuyaMCU is another computer. The TuyaMCU, that handles all, it's a different processor. It has its own set of code and everything, and it does like all the button presses. It does all the dimming. It does, so like some of the dimmers, like, let's see, the Treat Life dimmer. Like one of these is actually that one. Um, it has that little. I hear that's trash day tomorrow. I wonder what that was. Um, it has like the little touch panel, and then it has the multiple LEDs. And a lot of people will ask, "Hey, can I do a long press on this particular dimmer?" Well, no, you can't, because you can't program in that secondary module. That TuyaMCU actually handles all the button presses. And what happens is Tasmodo becomes really just a dumb pipe, really. Or now, and of course, you can use ESP Home as well. ESP Home supports the TuyaMCU modules too. So whatever you choose to use, whatever. And so it just becomes a dumb pipe where it technically, in most cases, does not need the ESP chip at all. But some of them will start blinking a red LED because it thinks that the TuyaMCU module has failed or something like that. And all that TuyaMCU is really just all the ESP does is become a Wi-Fi radio. And everything else happens in the TuyaMCU. So, but they talk over, and of course I know some old school people like, okay, I remember that, is they talk over 9600 baud between, and it's 9600 8N1, and you're showing your age if you probably used a modem that was slower than that, which I have. I know a lot of you have, but so it talks 9600, and there's packets back and forth. So the TuyaMCU will say, hey, you set the panel to 30%. Well, it tells the ESP chip, hey, they set it to 30%. It picks it up. It sets the state. It puts it over Wi-Fi, Home Assistant, whatever it might be, or even stock Tuya firmware. It sends it out to the cloud, whatever. And then also whenever, say something comes in from the cloud or from MQTT, depending on how you have it configured with Flash, it sends that through a packet to the TuyaMCU. So it's a handoff back and forth. Well, one of the problems we've run into is, so a lot of the switches and dimmers and plugs and whatever that uses that TuyaMCU have been reverse engineered in a way, and a lot of the packets they give it in the SDK. Yeah, US Robotics. I had actually US Robotics. And so they go through, and that there's a lot of different devices that aren't documented. They use some other different protocol that's still the TuyaMCU, but they're using different IDs or whatever it is. Well, then the problem becomes, and exactly this, and we talked about last live stream, was that siren. And well, if you go ahead and, because you think, hey, I'm going ahead, I'm doing my Tuya convert, boom, 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 you override it, boom, put Tasmodo, and then next thing you know, you don't know how to control it. Well, a lot of times you need to go back to the stock firmware. But there's a problem with that. A lot of times I haven't had the ability to take those bin files from Tuya Convert and write them back via serial and have them work. So a lot of times what I'll do on a module that I just don't know about, and a lot of times I'll open it and say it's more than a light switch or a dimmer. I want to solder to it and back up that firmware first, because then you can bring it into Tasmodo or ESP Home and play with it. And if you don't need the stock firmware, then whatever. Save it for a rainy day when you're bored, or some other day where you're locked in, right? I don't know anything about that, but none of us do. So, but if you don't know how to control it, well, then you can't go back to stock firmware. So what you need to do is do some sniffing, and that's what I want to do on this little garage door controller. And it is a... Let's see if I can find it. It is a TuyaMCU, because I did open it up, and I'll pull it up here on the desk. And I know I had a kind of a big rant, and I wasn't looking at the chat. Otherwise, I would start to get confused, not confused, but distracted. So, but let's see. Keeping Up with the Saints. No, I hadn't watched any of that. Do a doctor get lost and forget what you're talking about? You tried RTX Void, came out. I haven't messed with that. So, Tessin dimmer. Is that the Tessin dimmer? Normally is like just like the Martin Jerry dimmer, Mark, or is there a different little Tessin dimmer, or is that the Tessin one with the MCU? So, to no further ado, let's do my big monstrosity. And I know we're just I might have to move my mic and slide over in my other position, but we'll just deal with it and we'll. But it looks much like a Sonoff Basic. Let me put this back the other way. We'll try to keep I'll watch the audio levels. So this is not plugged in, and I did solder some wires to it already. And I kind of showed it last stream, but let me pull this down a little bit here, and I'll fix the zoom. I got 2 messages on Discord. Should I answer them or not? I don't know. Oh, okay. Actually, somebody is here. So, yeah, and Patrick knows that one all too well about trying to get all the action statuses, updates. You want to try to because you want to grab all the packets, and it looks much like a Sonoff Basic, and I got all the pieces down there, and it's actually it's damn close to a Sonoff Basic case, but of course it's much different on the inside. As you can see, I can pull this back without tearing up too much of my stuff. Very different on the inside. There's a 5-volt relay, and there's the button LED, and then of course you won't find this on a Sonoff Basic. This is the TYWE2S, the different Tuya module. We've seen a lot of these in plugs and stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna get to the bottom, Bobby. And what I did was, and I'll show you kind of why I use these pins here in a bit. Now, what I did, let me fix the zoom, and if my camera lamp thing won't shake and make y'all sick like you're on a roller coaster. Where's my? Here it is, right here. Yeah, so what you're wondering, what's this monstrosity over here? Well, I'll explain a little bit, explain what that is. That's where I'm powering it from. But this is actually that TuyaMCU right here. And it looks like most of this on this side is going to be dealing with the power supply from mains down to 5 volts. They don't have a board separation, but so the TuyaMCU is over here, and then of course you can see the ESP modules right here, and mains does come in on this side. And what this is also, this has 2 wires coming off of it, and if I'm real close to the mic, I'm probably hot as hell on here, so sorry about that. What they have on here is, since remember this is a garage door opener, is you're supposed to put these 2 wires on like 2 of your pins for the garage door opener. And yeah, you can do this with I know people say, well, just use a Sonoff SV and everything. Well, yeah, I probably will. But I wanted to check this one out just to kind of compare, because this one was already in a case. It was already in a plug and everything. I wanted to kind of give a comparison when we did eventually do this, and I do make it back over to that project house after some of this craziness passes. So I wanted to compare it with these, and then the other pin is a long spool of wire with a plug, and then a simple, you guessed it, simple little magnetic reed switch. So you probably put this on the garage door, well, next to the garage door. You put the wire on the garage door, of course. Put this on like the wall, and then you put the other magnet, typical reed switch. We've seen, a bunch of those reed switches before. So it's pretty much just like doing, I know Dr. Z's did a couple videos of doing the, with the Sonoff SV. And so that's, but you had to kind of make your own case and stuff, or if you need a 3D printer, that's all. And you had to power it with a 5 volt, like a cell phone charger of some sort. So same deal. What I don't get is, why did they use a TuyaMCU in this case? I don't know why they did that, because you really got to think about it. They've got just the button, that's 1 pin. They got the LED. They got a dual color LED. I guess that's up to 3 pins, and then the relay would be your 4th pin, and then the reed switch would be your 5th pin. So there's plenty of pins left on the ESP chip that they could have just went straight off the ESP chip instead of using a secondary MCU, which would raise costs. I'm not sure why that's done like that, but whatever. Maybe something was simpler to done. I have no idea. So why did I have what I've done? Let me show you what. Go back to the. We don't need that. The mic's gonna be all up in frame, but whatever. We're gonna be doing a little different thing. So right here, there on the bottom of it, it's really simple. There's 3.3 volts, there's ground, RX, and TX. And of course, you need GPIO 0 to put it into flash mode if you want to flash it, or you do want to back it up. GPIO 0 is actually a little pin on the back. It looks like, here's a good picture. Somebody put us a good picture on the web. There's a little pad on the back for GPIO 0. And I'll just pull that to ground as we power it up to back it up. And yeah, very true. I know we've seen some of the RTL chips that are very common design like this. I've actually seen some people take the RTL modules and unsolder them, and they'll put in one of these modules, or I know there was another ESP module. I've actually seen some retrofits where they took some RTL based products and switched them back over to ESP. I guess if there's the devotion to do that. So this is exactly what I'm doing here. I soldered to 3.3, ground, RX, and TX. But there is one issue and I'll slide back over here, is I wanted to be able to test the relay. Well, the relay, if we can read the relay on here without all the wires in the way, it's a 3 amp and it's a 5 volt DC relay. Now, it doesn't need to be, probably 3 amp is overkill, because it's just turning on, doing the pulse to turn on, basically it mimics the push button of the garage door opener. So I wanted to be able to test the relay. So what I did was this is the step down voltage regulator that steps it down from 5 volts to 3.3 volts. And all I did is I hooked this up to mains power and looked at the pin that had 5 volts on it. And so what I have is a external power supply. I'll connect to it and we'll just feed it 5 volts. And that way I don't have to deal with powering this thing up with mains power at the same time and connecting it to my computer and trying to do USB sniffing. So that's really where you want to get to if you're going to do a sniffing of a device. Don't connect it with mains power and to RX and TX at the same time. I would not guarantee that whoever designed that board did the proper job to isolate mains from DC on the RX TX lines. You just never know, and just messing with it, I just wouldn't do it. So it's always safe just to keep it DC voltage. So, see, Cameron Smith have a two. When it turns on and off, it dims fairly. Would it ever be possible to control? See, it's exactly that, Cameron, is the TuyaMCU handles all of that. Actually, whenever you turn it off, if you just send over the off command to it, it's just sending the off command, and then that TuyaMCU turns around and says, "Okay, well, they've set me to fade, in 3-4, take a second or something to fade." And so without you actually going in and rewriting the code on the TuyaMCU, the answer is most likely no on that. And I can say, when I was trying to reverse engineer at first shot, when I was kind of young, I would say young and dumb, I was just kind of the same age, but whatever. I was green in some of this. I did hook up my computer to that Martin Jerry dimmer, and I was like a last chance deal, and I ended up smoking the Martin Jerry dimmer. And luckily, I did not short out or smoke the laptop. I just rebooted the laptop. But I smoked the Martin Jerry dimmer and had to order a second one. So, but we're gonna pull over. And the first thing we're gonna do. This thing is paired on my Wi-Fi with stock firmware. I know. I had to go and unblock the Tuya stuff from my router and everything. At first, I couldn't get it to pair, and I was like, "Oh, it's blocking." So I had to go and pair that. But what I'm going to do, we're going to back this firmware up, and I know a lot of you have not seen how to do that. So we'll show you how to do that and how to check the exact firmware size, because some of the Tuya chips come with 1 megabyte and 2 megabyte flash, and you make sure you want to back up the whole thing. So what I'm doing here, let me fix the zoom on this guy. I really hate the automatic zoom on this thing. It drives me nuts because it doesn't zoom in right. So I end up driving it all by myself all the time. So what I'm going to do, let me slide over here and let me move my mic, and I'll kind of explain a little better. Let's see if I can get in frame here. So what I'm going to do is, let me get some of this monstrosity off of here, and that way I can explain exactly what this is doing. All right. So we've got the 4 pins, and yellow is positive, and it's hard to see some of the color, but the green, especially if you're colorblind, not that we have a big demographic of males watching or anything, but green for ground, and then blue was the, I forgot what it was already. Blue was the RX and TX. So blue is RX, purple is TX, and remember, you have to switch that on the little FTDI adapter. Or this is, I think, a CH340G, I believe. So, but the same thing for dumping them. So what I like to do on this is I have a very sophisticated piece of technology here. It's just a clipped off header pin, and then I soldered the end. I bridged it on the ends, and it's just a DuPont jumper, basically a DuPont splitter. And so what I'll do is, on the ground, we'll feed it ground, and then I'll put another ground wire, and I'll explain what that's for. That's for GPIO 0. And then I'll put my other ground, and I try to keep the colors. Don't drive yourself nuts and start mixing and matching colors. But this is all going to be green for ground. And so then we'll go ground on the FTDI adapter. And we'll zoom down to this a little bit with my sophisticated zoom. I guess the mouse is wireless. I can drag it over here. I don't know if everybody's sleeping or not. I don't see anybody chatting. Hopefully maybe you're sleeping or learning. Or drinking. Maybe that too, right? So the next one's RX. And the RX is going to be to go to TX, and that's purple. So we'll do purple. And yellow is positive. Blue was RX. Said I go to TX. And then the yellow goes to 3.3 volts. And very important, if you haven't used one, don't use 5 volts. And if there's a jumper on it, like here, make sure it's on 3.3 volts. So then, the cool part, everything's hooked up, but then this is GPIO 0. So you could solder GPIO 0, but that's a pain. I'm not going to solder. It's on that flat back and everything. You only need to touch GPIO 0 at the same time you're plugging it in. So let's see if we can do this on camera and everything and get it on first shot. This damn case is going to drive me nuts. It's going to be too dark to see. Almost too dark for me to just see it when I'm plugging it in. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. So I probably should have soldered it for camera, right? But what I want to get ready is, let me Google something here right quick. They moved it on me. Where is it at, Frederico? Is it on just Tasmodo.com? Let's do a search. ESP tool. Yeah. This follows it under right to fit. Yeah, definitely. So I like to steal or borrow the ESP tool command on here. Now you can see this is set for 1 megabyte. And I know at first I was like, well, shouldn't it be like 102.45768 or something like that? I forgot what the 1 megabyte exactly is. But it does, when you do see the bin, it is 1024. So, but what I like to do, what you need to do first, if you don't have ESP tool, not Flash, but installed, you do need to install it. And we'll come in here. And I'll just do Flash ID. And you can see this one right here. It's going to read the Flash ID along with the, and I'm sorry about that, I keep forgetting the mic's way over here. The Flash ID with the size. And we will have to do this twice. Hopefully I don't mess this up. Let's find out. So I'll have that ready and get this ready and see if we can do this without smoking things and hit my head on the mic. How about we do this? Desk. I have these helping hands here, so why not use them, right? I keep bumping the damn camera. All right. Let me fix this stupid zoom. Stop shaking, camera. All right. So what we're going to try to do is hold down GPIO 0 at the same time as I'm plugging this in, but I can't see it with the damn camera in the way. Is it below it? Let me just do this right quick. Hopefully I got it. I don't know if I did. We'll find out. I don't think I did. Nope. It means it's booting. See if the pad is below it or above it. It's got a shadow. The pad is right below the 0. Okay. Now I should have soldered this thing. You know, I did this earlier, a couple days ago, and I had it every shot. All right, let's give this a shot. No. It would be a pain to solder this one. And we do have the ground on there. All right, so there we go. So now we got to do that again. Yeah, I really need a push button for my USB. And so you can see right here, it is just a 1 meg flash for this particular device. So to back it up, we'll take that command and we'll copy it. And you can make it go faster by, did I copy it? And I use the auto port. You can put the baud rate to like speed it up other than the stock, was it 115, 200? And you can go ahead and you can put them up, but then the higher you read, the more likely it might fail. So I just stick to the stock speed. Let's see if we can do this one more time. Nope. It fell out of the damn tray for me. me get it. I already have a firmware backup for this. If it doesn't go, then I will need a foot pedal. Like the sewing machines. Yeah. You can't hit that COM port. Let me try it one more time. Up arrow. And if not, I'm determined. I should probably put it on the ground and then I'll get it this time. Come on. Determination. You know, it doesn't always go right. Damn. Why is it not backing up? Did I disconnect something? Oh, look at this. I pulled the ground pin off the damn MCU. Everybody left already. I went to go to the bathroom or get a drink or something. All right, that's it. Helps out when you got the ground pin on. Okay. Not conquered so far. So once you do that and don't do it 500 times like, yeah, it's a Dr. Z stream. Hadn't been able to catch much of his. I've been working too much during the day. So, yeah, edit it out. But then you edit out the live stream stuff, and then it kills the chat for people that are wanting to go. So maybe we'll try to put something in there and say, go ahead and skip forward about 10 minutes, intermission. So once you do, what I do like to do is I like to back it up twice. And I know you have to every time you do the ESP tool command, you have to power cycle it, hold the GPIO 0, and put it back on. I like to back it up twice to 2 separate bin files. And I should put the mic closer. He's sliding slowly over to Twitch. Okay. I haven't done too much of the Twitch stuff. I don't know. I guess that's more of a gaming thing, I guess. I don't know. I haven't done mess around with Twitch. I don't game much. But so more money there. Okay. So with the I went blank now. We're talking what are we fixing today? So I like to back it up twice, and then I'll run like a MD5 or CR, some type of something file comparison to compare the 2 bin files just to make sure it's the same. And because once you flash it with like Tuya Convert or something like that, there's just no going back, and you might need that firmware. So we're cool. We've got two bin. We got a bin file. I'm not gonna go ahead. I'm not gonna back it up again. So next, what we want to do is we won't need to hold GPIO 0. Is now we need to, let me put the desk down here. Is I'm going to go ahead and wire this thing up. We can pull this back up here. And it is cycling. It should be, I'm hoping, on my Wi-Fi, but we'll find out. So what I'm doing here is I've got this here, and I almost did it. I almost yelled out to turn on Bench Bravo. So what I've got, just a little bench power supply, and I'm going to hook it up to 5 volts. And so I'm going to disconnect the USB and move the mic so y'all can hear me. We'll see if we can keep this in frame somewhat. And the 5 volts. So I guess is he trying to, while I'm doing this, those flexible grips, that is, I think they're on. If you do, if you look on here, that ground wire, nothing is powered on right now. So the power supply isn't outputting anything. So yeah, so that's, don't get nervous just yet. That's these right here. And they're like $30. So it's got like just 4 arms, and it's got a big plate to it. So that's what that is. Here we go. And so let's see. We'll take the red wire that goes to 5 volts. We'll hook it up here. And then the ground wire that is making you nervous will come off. Well, no, we need the ground wire. That'll go to here. This ground wire. Now, if you remember what I talked about, is the TuyaMCU, there's a receive channel because the ESP is talking to the TuyaMCU. We'll sniff on that channel at one point, and then, so we don't need the TX from the USB adapter because we're never going to be sending data to this setup. We're just going to be trying to receive and sniff on it, much like a scanner would be, like a police scanner. You're just wanting to listen. So we're going to do the RX pin, and I should put the mic closer, Travis, but I do see the gain coming up. We're going to put the RX pin on one side, and then we'll sniff it, and then we'll put the RX on the other side, and then we'll sniff it, and we'll look at the packets. And we might get lucky in actual Tasmota stuff, but maybe not. I'm just not sure yet. I haven't gotten to that point. So what we'll do is I'll pull the power off. I don't want to feed it 3.3 volts, and I'm behind the stuff. I don't need to feed it 3.3 volts. And then we're going to receive So we just need 2 pins. We need the ground and then the RX. And then so the TX is going to be from the actual um, Tuya module first. I'm sorry, it should be from the ESP module. So we're going to listen to the ESP module first. So once we get all that plugged in, we should be able to turn on the power supply. And you can see we do have juice, and we've got some amperage going here. And it is blinking fast. Let me see what it's showing on the Tuya Smart stuff. I wonder if I defaulted it from my Wi-Fi. That would be just my luck. It was not by powering it off and on so much. I think it's in pairing mode. Let me see if we can pair this thing back up. It's just called a Tac Life something. Let me pair this right quick. Let's see. Wi-Fi switch. Let me get on my other different Wi-Fi. I power cycled it too many times and we put it back in pairing mode and probably wiped it. All that fun. Shouldn't have done that, right? All right, fast flashing. Let's see if that'll work. I'm hoping. While that tries to pair. Let's see. I don't think I have it in pairing mode. Should have said option 65. Yep. So I did buy a little higher amperage. Is this guy here. And I got it last July. So it's what, 30, it goes with 30 volts, 5 amps. And I did it to also play with the Christmas lights, the little LED addressable lights. And I wanted to see the exact amperage. So what better way than just to put it through a power supply? Let me put this in pairing mode. I think it's flipping out because there we go. We'll see what happens with it. Hacking up cell phone chargers. Yeah, and while this pairs, I know the other night I had an issue with it pairing, and it's like it wouldn't pair at all, and then all of a sudden it just started trying to pair. Like I haven't had an issue. I just spammed this from my Discord channel. What are we talking about? Oh, okay. Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know it's not blocking it right now. And what I'm looking at is watching the fun. I may have to restart the pairing mode. I think maybe it did. It stopped blinking. What I'm doing is I'm watching the adding device. And there, of course, the screen's all white, so it blows out the damn camera. We just caused all kind of issues. Or I did, not y'all. Linear burn. And don't let me forget. I don't know if I'll be able to do. We'll have time. I'm not sure. Is that little dimmer you sent over to play with? Let's see if we can do this. And no, this is not mains power. Remember. Fast flashing. And I don't know. I don't think Pi-hole blocks the Tuya stuff. Yeah, I used to do the DHCP reservations for them as well. The only ones I do DHCP reservations for is the ESP home stuff. Yeah, Tuya convert has been for the most part majority okay. I heard there is a different PSK key that's coming. That some devices people have seen that there's a thread actually on the issues of Tuya convert. This thing does not want to pair. It is going to not pair on me. I don't think it'll be linked up by itself. Let's just see. I think it dumped itself. Yeah, well, I had a light bulb I wanted to try to make sure that, it was like, well, hey, is something blocking on it? And I don't know if Tuya was having an issue that evening. I was hoping to get further with this and actually get to the fun part. But we ended up defaulting the damn Tuya firmware. Which is strange. We may have to abandon this for some reason. Okay, it's fast flashing. And I don't see anything blocking anything. A wonderful Friday night, right? Nothing goes as planned. It's just not seeing it for some reason. That is so weird. It's like it's not going in the pairing. I hate to do it thinking it shouldn't be anything with the power supply. Get the initial flash, go to OTA, upgrade the light. Yeah. I haven't had any issues now that they fixed a lot of the stuff with Tuya Convert. Fixing the... Yeah, it never works 100%. Yep. I'm about to disconnect it and we'll plug it up mains and just see what happens. Give me 1 second. You can play some Jeopardy music or something. Let's see, take that one off. I don't need the back feed. And we'll take off the ground. Make sure we got everything. I'm double checking. Yep, we should be good. hope it went solid. Did it get connected? Is it something with it not liking? Yeah, look, it's on there now. You can see the garage is on here. Let's see if I can get it powered up to this thing again. So let's hold on 1 second. I am not liking this green jumper. I had a black one somewhere. Here's a brown one. The wire's waddled out. The connector. All right. Let's see if we can fire back up. It is not liking to power up for some reason with the power supply. Is it because the TX lines? That's what it was. Something with the USB. Okay. All righty. Yeah, it actually didn't like. I think the FTDI was draining down on the TX line. Yeah, I think that's what it was. So my bad. Sorry about that, y'all. So I can hear the relay clicking, and what I'm doing on the phone, that's this wonderful white background, I know it's hard to see, is it's really a simple, app, and it's not going to change. It is this wonderful white background. I cannot stand. You know how much I hate white backgrounds? It's just real simple. You hit the little close, and because the read switch doesn't trigger, it thinks it opens again. And so if you do hit the switch and then put the read switch next to it, it does think it actually closes. And so then if I pull the read switch away, it actually just switches back. It thinks it's manually opened. So really simple thing. I don't really need to show the phone anymore. So what I want to do is open up a little program called Real Term. And you could use whatever terminal program. I like to use Real Term. And I don't know if I can make it the font size any bigger. I know I'm trying to do something for, is there font size? I don't see a font size. It'd be under display. Terminal font. Oh, look, it doesn't let me go past 9 points. Let me do 11. No, it won't let me do 11. I don't think it's going to let me. We'll try this one. Port is going to be 26. The baud is going to be 96. And then we'll hit change on it. And then we'll display hex space. And so you can already see that this is that heartbeat packet. Yeah, it definitely needs dark mode. You ever have a randomly show up as generic? Don't they all start as generic? I don't know, I'm being smart ass on that one. If it cycles back to generic, it's probably set option 65, or it defaulted itself due to set option 65, or you set button 1 as a pin that's held low, and then so it thinks you held the button down for 40 seconds, which is factory default. So remember, we talked about doing that. We had the, I know it's been a long way if I'm still have you guys. We talked about doing the heartbeat packet. Well, this is that heartbeat packet that's coming from the ESP module. And again, it's telling the basically just all the heartbeat is saying, hey, telling that TuyaMCU of like, hey, I'm here, I'm alive. So then whenever we hit the switch on the app, it wants to which is basically going to come from the cloud, so it goes to the Wi-Fi module to tell the TuyaMCU to turn on. And so now you can see if you can pick this out. And what I do, Notepad++, is we'll copy this. Oh, wrong window. If you can see this, we'll just copy all of this. To Notepad++, but you can see here every packet, here's all these heartbeat packets. So you can really delete all of these. All these heartbeat packets. Except for this one. So this is what packet got sent whenever you do the toggle of the switch to toggle the garage door opener. And just to make sure that I'm going to put them side by side so we can see it again, is then when I toggle it, yep, there's that same, you can see there's that same packet, 5AA0605010105D0D. So that's really, there's nothing else to send from the cloud. So really, I can't think of anything else. If Patrick's still in here. He may have something else to add. He's also a pro at this. Only 7 likes and 60 people here. They all fell asleep as I fought through the issues that miraculously just... I know I had somebody the other day, they're like, you make it look so easy on a video and everything. Well, sometimes, a lot of times you do it once, and then I'll record it, and then we get the good thing of being able to edit it as well. So... we'll just start over, William. We were having a bad time anyway. Yeah, I'm seeing 23, so. Yeah, we'll just start over. He was adding dark mode. You're adding dark mode to the Tuya app we're not going to use. So, now we need to, really the only thing I can think of is, the only thing else I can think of to get from it is now we need to get the read switch, because it looks like the LED, unless there's a button, the button press, that would come from the TuyaMCU. So let's just, I'm gonna flip the pins over. Killing Tasmo admin, fix my connection issue. You're gonna try to get me to talk bad about Tasmo admin again. Okay. Tasmo admin, I had an issue. If you have an issue where it's constantly beating on your devices and it slows them down, you're getting connection issues, you're having a bunch of issues with Tasmodo, turn off Tasmo admin. Isolate that and make sure that it's not that. I've seen it many times myself that, especially like power monitoring plugs that had low Wi-Fi, it was actually causing some of them to watchdog reset. So yeah, use TDM. Uses MQTT, which is more lightweight than the web interface, and you may not have that issue. But definitely, when you're trying to get your stuff, just turn off some of that monitoring. So I'm just going to switch pins on this monstrosity. We're going to switch over the purple and the blue, and hopefully it does not flip out. All right. So let's see if we can clear the. Yep, here we go. Let's see if we can get it. Is there a clear on here? Yep, clear. So this is going from ESP to MCU, and that looks like the toggle command. And then on here, looks like we got one packet here, and they typically all going to start with that 55AA. So right now we're looking at what the MCU is sending to the ESP module. So like for instance, I'm gonna put let me turn this other camera on so you can kind of see. I'm gonna put the read switch next to it, and now you can see that's basically it. I closed the garage, and it looks like it gets some sort of, it sends a heartbeat to the ESP of some sort. 55A, and yeah, so it does some sort of, should be same, but 06 changes to 07. Where are you seeing 06? Can I make this text bigger? Yeah. There we go. You end up squinting. And I know some people later will be like, oh, thank God he put it that bigger so I can watch it on mobile. So, oh, you're talking about when I pull the read switch away. Let me go back. So we pull the read switch away. We went from here to here. And exactly what I think you're talking about was right here, garage closed, and then garage opened. And it looks like this changed this address here changed from a 00 to being closed and the 01 to being open. And the 75 and the 76 are basically like a checksum. And it kind of, I think it adds them up, I believe. And it looks like, I'm seeing this, there's something, oh, you're talking about in here too. So what changes in here? 03, 07, 05, 01, 01. This one changes from 11 to a 12 as well. All right, Jason, take it easy. So then the other, let's see what the button press does. nothing. It is. Oh, I guess I should look at their terminal. Let's clear it first. So that's the. I heard the relay click, and that was why I could have done this with just 3.3 volts, but since again that is a 5-volt relay, you won't be able to hear it. So I want to be able to hear. I know you're probably not hearing it on camera, but I want to hear the click. So these appear to be like heartbeat packets of some sort, and this one was button pushed. Function 65 set on or off, and function 1 on or off. Seems pretty straightforward. Like is that probably some of the regular TuyaMCU, you think, Patrick? I'm trying to think what else. I don't see any. I don't see anything where you can control the LED, because the LED, it's just red. And I'm gonna look in the app. I don't even see the LED change whenever I toggle it. So button is 1. Okay. And probably the button does the same thing as the button on the actual actual app. Okay. So enough of the boring crap. The new Tasmodo button functions. No, Doc. We reverse engineering TuyaMCU again. I say again. I did a while back. We did the button functions a while. That Frederico. I know we're probably getting off on that, but Frederico did the button. The button functions are in the new dev. So for that multi-press, where you can just change it to button 1, and as long as you have the developer one on there. So let's flash this guy over. I'm not gonna use. We're gonna try to use TuyaConvert on it, even though I have it soldered. But because I'm not playing around trying to hold down GPIO 0 for an hour again. I know it wasn't that long, but so we'll see if we can get this guy going with regular Tasmodo or Tasmota. Trying to think what else we need. That'd be it. Hold up 1 second. Let's pull up TuyaConvert. And then I can fix all my mic stuff back and almost need a fail button. I need to fix the display. Y'all don't want to squint at that unless you don't really want to see. I'm gonna spend more time trying to fix it. And no, again, this is not mains power, so I can put my grubby fingers all over it. All right. We'll find out if this guy's TuyaConvert capable. It is easy to flash, though. It's just if you had to solder it. We got different lights. I hit my fail button. We done failed a couple times. Even failed because I ripped the damn ground pin off on accident and didn't realize it. All right, I think it's going, but we'll cross the fingers here. So we'll try to use some of the TuyaMCU stuff straight in Tasmota. The only thing I do, it was in pair mode, and then the light went solid. So we'll see. If not, we have it soldered already. So I'm not going to give up hope just yet. Boom. So it does work. Okay. And yep. So it's Tuya convert, which is cool. For now. As of the recording of this video, Home Assistant royalty. Who's the king and who's... I'm not going to go there. That's a whole... Who's the king? Who's the queen? That just sounded bad. You want to flash on the device? No. And we'll shut it down. If I continue on the conversation, we'll all get kicked off the internet. $10, $10, $120. Alrighty. And yes, I did skip some steps. The bin file I sent to it, if you're wondering how I did it so quickly, the bin file I sent to it already has my Wi-Fi ID and SSID and password burned into it. So I just flashed straight to it and boom, it just go look on the controller and find my IP address for the device. So let's go ahead and try this with Tuya, just straight up TuyaMCU. Uh-oh, what was that being in? Oh, okay, that was, scared me there for a minute. That was a putty. I heard a click and another click. We'll see what happens. Plug and pray. One thing that's kind of cool, Patrick. It automatically picked up the DPID for web log 4. It picked up the DPID already for this guy. There's some of those, this, you should recognize some of those same packets. Here's that received. Yeah, okay. So one thing I'm worried about, I'm going to see something here. I know y'all can't hear it. Let's see if we can, let me see if I can do this. Nah, I'm going to hit up bumping the camera and the light. I'm going to restart it. Okay, that would be bad. What it's doing is, because it's that garage door opener. It's toggling. I can hear when Tasmota restarts. I guess it's trying to initialize the TuyaMCU, and so it clicks the relay and then clicks it back. So anytime, yeah, exactly, and you already know exactly what'll happen. Anytime that this thing reboots, it's gonna open and close the garage door. That would be bad. I don't know. if we can, now what we could do, because it's really simple, we could just do this with some rules on, and not, let me see something here before I say this. Let me put it back to generic. Take TuyaMCU off. I want to see if it restarts and it toggles. I'm going to toggle the power as well. And I want to see if it toggles the relay on this guy. Okay, restart. I don't hear a click. Yeah, but I think it's something with the TuyaMCU initialization, and it's causing it to trigger. So we're gonna have to use serial raw, which is, yeah, it's exactly what Frederico is and Patrick are. It's the initialization. So we're gonna have to do it with that serial raw commands. It's not toggling when I take it off TuyaMCU. I want to toggle the actual power on the power supply. So just gonna basically simulate a power outage, and we'll turn it back on. No, I'm not hearing it toggle. But I do still have those pins hooked up. I need to unhook that. I see it's blinking again. I wonder if it needs a heartbeat packet. Let's see if it's going to switch over. Yeah, I think we may do a couple different things. Yeah, so we've tasmatized it, Tim, but we've figured out the commands and all the packets. They did a very strange thing with this. Why that they did this, not with, yeah, I had to say the same thing, Davin, and well, I don't have a garage door, but is same thing with the locks. Yeah, FTDI is disconnected. I think it's missing the heartbeat packet, Frederico. So whenever it starts up, yeah, it does have Tuya. Chamberlain, didn't Chamberlain charge or something like that? So in a nutshell, this whole thing is basically this thing is $30. It's ready to go, but it's probably simpler still to do exactly what, I don't know if Doc's still here. What Doc did is with a Sonoff SV and use either Tasmodo or ESP Home, and just simply use that instead of, because this we have to do a bunch of rules and stuff like that. Garbage disposal switch. So we can basically what I'm gonna have to do is, in a nutshell, is, and I don't know if y'all want to do all this, is I'm gonna have to look for anytime we want to do a toggle, we'll have to do a rule to send this packet, and then we'll have to look for I think it's 65, you were saying, Patrick? And we'll have to look for it, basically a rule will say if serial data received, it'll be this packet is open and then toggle and close. I'll probably have to do like a virtual relay and to get this working right. I don't know if y'all want to go through all that, because it may take a lot of going through and just a little testing. And then I have to do the timer probably on the heartbeat packet every 10 seconds and do a stop timer and a rule to do those as well. So it's definitely doable. And what I'll do is I'll do that and we'll do it on the side. That's probably a whole nother hour. Yeah, it's $30, but hey, it is in. Um, but you gotta think about it. We're not the target market for these things. This is where's the where my and why did it drag? I don't know what it dragged down there for. I must have mashed a button. We're not the target market for these. And no, this is not mains again, but it does. It's already ready to go. It has a mains plug for you. There's a long thing. It looks like kind of like a Sonoff Basic. And it has that button is a reset button. So, and then it comes with the long cord and the reed switch. So the target market is gonna be just Joe Schmo. And I want to save this before I accidentally close this. It's just going to be Joe Schmo that doesn't want to spend a bunch of money on garage door packets. And then they're not going to have, like, I know some of those Chamberlain's ones y'all were talking about, some of them charge for like their cloud fee and stuff. So this would be just in the Tuya, think about there's going to be in the Tuya app where a lot of people are doing Tuya bulbs and everything else and switches. And so, boom, there's their garage door. It's $30. They go put it on their garage door and boom, they show all their friends and family, look, I can open my garage door with the Tuya Smart app. And they're ready to go. So, that's kind of, they don't want to have to go deal with doing, all of that. So, Linear Burn, you still here? What I'll do is I'll play with the rules and I'll see if I can get the rules going in the next couple of days. And I'll probably just do a little blog post and I'll do one with the rules and stuff on there. Because I'm sure somebody will benefit from the pain of all that. So we'll go through and do that, and because someone doesn't not everybody has 3D printers or wants to start hacking up a Sonoff SV. So and I'll put the rules and stuff on that little blog post, and I'll probably link it somewhere. So. What did I miss out? So Linear Burn sent this cool little, and where did I put it at? This cool dimmer. Let me find his, and he may have to help me out with this one. I have not opened it, so it will be exactly one of those true first impressions. They do not have an ESP chip, but they do have some firmware for them, and you can put MQTT with them and take them out of the cloud. And they are exactly super cheap. Is that how you want to say cheap? Turn this power supply back off. And I'm not going to bore y'all with all the rules. Maybe we'll do, if y'all really want to do some rules and stuff and figure that out, I'll probably figure out some of the rules and I can show them on the next one and just kind of work through them exactly how we did it. $13 for a dimmer. So, oh, wait, hold on. 5% off of that as well. So 13 and then take 5% off. So pretty cool for, I think, for a dimmer. The Martin Jerry dimmers as much as they're what, normally like 20. Of course, Martin Jerry dimmers are $24.99, 25, and that's we see them go on sale for like 18 or no, it was at $21 last time I think. So, um, yeah, so Costco has some. I know I've heard some issues with some of those. I don't know if they fixed that. So let me get that dimmer right quick. All right. Some of them are using a weird sock. Let's see if I can not pull this off. Quick, somebody hijacked the camera. Nobody else is in here, man. Let me fix. So I don't know if we want to try to flash this thing or not, or um, let's see what this guy looks like. I did open the box just to make sure what it was in there. So yeah, Linear Burn did send this to me because he wanted to die messing with it. I got magnets sticking everywhere. It looks like it would fit in a regular Decora plate. So it looks like it's got I want 8266 that's not Decora. Everything seems to be Decora. The only ones I've seen is Z-Wave. So there's a down button. We'll get in closer to this guy. Looks like there's a down button. That's the middle button, and then there's an up button. And let's see if looks like 120, 15 amp max output, 15 amp. Looks like 600 watt incandescent, 150 LED. And there's the FCC ID if you want to see that. So, yeah. We kind of switched everything to Decora around here. I don't really think I have. I think in my half bath in the laundry room, I have not put any smart switches in there because we rarely ever go in there. So, one thing I don't like about this. The live and the line are both black. I know typically there'll be like a red or a brown or something like that. I can see somebody getting those confused, but I guess it won't work if you do it the other way. So we'll cap the other side. So we'll cap this one. We'll do ground. And we'll do neutral. And I don't know if this is plugged in. I don't think it is. Nope, that's the soldering iron. I would normally at this time. Oh, it won't power. You've already done that. I won't call out to the voice assistant guides. There we go. Yeah, you got them backwards. I could see that happening. Let me grab I don't have one on the desk. A Wago connector right quick. 5 and cap it off. Alright. So we're going to have to let Linear Burn try to walk us through this guy. We'll turn the lights off. And see what she does. So we got a Wi-Fi LED. Yeah, don't those Jasco or Jasco. I know they do look goofy. I actually end up putting a couple in my mom's house. I got Wi-Fi on the phone. I don't know what it would possibly do if I did turn on Wi-Fi on this computer here and then jack with the stream. I don't want to try to see what would happen. Is it showing an access point? I don't see one yet. Is there like a pairing mode? Do you have to put it in special pairing mode? You have to put it in Linear Burn? Because I'm not seeing an access point other than a neighbor's. Well, a few neighbors. They have a guest one that's open, but it's actually not open. Rec something? I don't see a rec something. We don't got to look at the book, are we? It's blinking. Oh, there's a setup 8565, but it's locked. I don't think that's it. That's too far. Let's just toggle on and off. Yeah, I'm not seeing a rec anything. Unless we need to turn it back on. There's the on. Kind of a neat little dimmer. Usually use the app to do it. Let's just hold the button down and see what happens. Nothing's happening. Oh, it went to a solid. Oh, so you use the app. I don't know what. Oh, there it is. Rec AP something something. How many hundreds? Do you want to know, Raspy? You probably don't want to know. You want me to show you the drawer later? Remind me, and I'll show you the drawer. You want to stay connected to it? Yes. Okay, we're connected to it. Do you know the address that it goes to? 19. I see. I got a 192. I think it dropped me off of the Wi-Fi. Yeah, I'm looking for the gateway IP of this one. You know what the gateway IP? Yeah, it's not 4.1. It's not too big of a drawer. I'm sure Doc's probably got more. My problem is I keep ordering plugs I don't need. So what's the app? Do I have to sign up for an account too? Maybe we should do this another time. How long have we been going? I hate to sit there and try to install an app and everything. So we've been going an hour and 46. Yeah, it's so. Let me just show real quick what Linear Burn sent me. I'll pull it up on the screen here to make sure, because he was sending me all of his passwords and all of his bank account information earlier. So I don't want to share that. But let's see. Just kidding, by the way. You didn't do that, Linear Burn. So this is what it has, an MQTT page on it, and you just put in your IP server, your MQTT, and then it has an on-off value. And I know he was trying to get the templates and stuff inside Home Assistant. And where's Blade? He collects those things. No, try not to share anything today. There's a full guide on the deal. Yeah. So basically, let me see, go back and look. Yeah, drag this back over here. So right here, let's see. Yeah, so connect to it. Look at the IP you're looking for is the DNS. Put that in the browser. A prompt for a password. So there's a password. Go to flash it. He's got the BIOS. Did someone put that like, who made that firmware for it? Like, you sent me like a GitHub before, and it's pretty simple chipset. They're pretty simple dimmer and stuff, and it does work with MQTT. So you got it working in Home Assistant. So, but I do want to dig into it, and it's pretty cool. So, like I say, it's only a dimmer for like $13. I want to see. We'll see how it works. So, you want yeah. So look, we'll take the board picks. Yeah, right here. There better be picks. Can you share? Yeah. So if you do, it should do here. It should, if not, there you go. At least that's working tonight. It looks like they got a temperature sensor or something right there. Temperature probe on top of the relay. Is that what that is? It looks like it's kind of burnt there a little bit. I'll have to look at this one. So there's the chipset. Is that the antenna? They just left it like, that's very, okay. There's the AMS 1117. I recognize those. There's your 3.3 volt drop. Okay. This definitely a little different chipset. But hey, we'll see if it works. I'll eventually I'll get it. I'll do the app and stuff, and I'll follow his instructions. And I don't have a lamp set up here, and I'll set up the little lamp and stuff. And do my device for dimming. So very cool. I'll mess with that. So I know the blue light looks very bright, but it's actually not. Is it on? Or did I lock it? Oh, it must be I have it in pairing mode or something. So we'll get that one and get something else on it. So yeah, it's much easier if you use Wi-Fi on your desktop. I don't know if it'll kill the stream. I hate to try that, and the stream end up killing the stream or whatever. I'll have to try that off of there. So so what else? Any other questions? I know I got everybody probably went to sleep. Yeah, it is very bright on the camera, but it's actually not that bright. LEDs are such a pain to shoot on video. Trust me, been there and done that. They just oversaturate things. But so what else we got? I wasn't really expecting video. Make a video. Oh, yeah, maybe so. Oh, the drawer. Oh, the drawer. Y'all were asking about the drawer. Who was asking about the drawer? How'd you get the custom bin on TuyaConvert? A good question, Aaron. So we still want to see the drawer with all the plugs? Hold up. So this isn't all of them. This is just like, let's see if we can, without ripping the green screen down. I already see some comments. Let's turn the light on. I'm sure somebody has more than this. So, let's see if I don't rip my camera thing off. There we go. So there's not a whole lot in here. I mean, this isn't all of them, but you know, there's a bunch of the KMC plugs. If there's some y'all want to look at, let me know. There's these KMC plugs. They were on deal for what, like $7, $8 or something like that. You can't pass them up, right? Especially these. You had to. No, look. These are not Tuya. These are waiting to go to some family member or something that does the cloud thing. These are those two, like we called them the 250 plugs, because they were like, after the coupon code and everything, they were like $2.50 to $3 a piece. And so of course I think you could buy max like 5 plugs, and it killed my only 3-way. So of course I had to buy those. This is one of my Tesson Martin Jerry style dimmers to test with. Here's another Tuya dimmer. This is that Moes 3-way that I had installed. I do still have one installed, but of course this is for to test with if somebody has an issue. That is I wouldn't say my excuse. I have to have one of everything in case anybody has an issue, right? Like here's a Martin Jerry 3-way. Here's another switch. I forgot what this one is. There's a Treat Life dimmer. It's on off, and then it has a plus and minus. So there's quite a few in here. It's on off S31s, some other switches. So just a whole, and then I've got a bunch of light bulbs and stuff from if you hadn't seen the light bulb video, I got all those light bulbs still that I bought for that light bulb video. I couldn't stop buying light bulbs. And so I've got a bunch of LED strips and stuff. Yeah, exactly. when I see those deals and stuff, I'm like, oh, I just too good to be true. And of course, I got to buy a pack of them, play with them, right? So, because that's kind of, if I'm not gonna buy one and mess with it and see how it works, I'm not gonna recommend them or put them on my page or whatever. So, but so yeah, I've got a few more things in there, but and I will say all of these, besides those RTL based Tekken junk plugs, all of these are all TUYA converts been done on all of them. So a lot of times I'll put, just to make sure, I'll put a T on them to show that I have Tasmodo or TUYA convert or something like that. So yeah, so there you go, Raspy. There's the I've got a whole nother, like a box of, I've probably got a box of probably I had to guess. I've got several different low Haas bulbs, the old style, the new style, some treat life bulbs that I should probably go put a bunch of them in. So, how'd you handle 1 button plus 3 relays? We'll show that right quick. I don't know if Doc's still here. He probably went off. If you want to see that right quick, I know some people didn't get to see that. Hold up 1 second. All right. Let me move this back. And then that'll probably be the last thing. Is, I don't remember which one is which. I gotta find it. If I find a different one, we'll just upgrade it and try it, right? Let's see, we got a 50-50 chance. Ah, here, I did find it. Okay. So, this does, I don't know if Frederico's still here. Frederico, he does all the, so everyone that does enjoy the set option 19 with doing your auto discovery and not having to throw your stuff in YAML and stuff. I know there's pros and cons to doing that, but Frederico has kind of picked that ball up and he's been running with that auto discovery and fixing a lot of stuff with set option 19. So definitely thank him there and here. But he did pick up the multi-press option. And so the cool thing is, I did cover this in the previous live stream, but if you want this feature, all you need to do is go to and flash the latest dev version of Tasmodo on your device. But I'll show you real quick, there's no rules to do this, but you can do rules if you want. I'll explain in a second, but I'm just doing double press. So I'll do single press and you can see relay 1 turns on. Now, of course, this one's always on. So we'll do double press and there's number 2. Oh, I got to do it right. Is double press, there's number 2, 1, 2, 3, and then there's 3. Now, and I want to say if you do 4, and then it would do for 4 relay and then up to 5 relay. Correct me if I'm wrong, Frederico. And so like that would be like that 5 relay power strip I was messing with. But it's really simple and you can show anybody how to do that by, was quickly, because that was kind of an issue with this doing, if you had 3 relays, you could do a short press and a long press, but then you could do the double press, but then you're going to forget, well, is double press the second one or long press? This just makes it very just simple to do. You just press the one button, double press for 2, triple press for 1, 2, 3, if I can count. And I'm should count and not talk and chew gum at the same time, or walk and chew gum at the same time. It's getting too late for me. But the other cool part is you can do rules for you do a set option 73, and it decouples the button from the relays in Tasmodo, and then you can do a rule for up to that 5 button press. So that way, if you wanted a wall switch, that where you say if you did single press would turn on the lights, you could do that, and then you could do different MQTT actions for double, triple, quad, and penta press to do a bunch of different things. So, yeah. So if you don't know how to do the, if you go to Tasmodo.com, or if you look at, let's see, no one can do that. GitHub. I always go on the GitHub. Yes, don't let me forget that, Aaron. I know I kind of went off. This feature is so freaking cool, and that's I know I probably was boring some people, but if you want to put you currently, as of the recording of this live stream, you do need to grab the development copy, and you can just throw the development copy using OTA, and if you don't know how to do that, I think even they have that listed in Tasmodo.com on how to put the development. But simply all you do is I go to their GitHub and grab this link, and I'll put in the chat, and just grab the Tasmodo bin. Or if you do have 8.2, you can do the GZ one, but just put Tasmodo bin, and you'll simply, I won't do it on this one, but you'll simply go to firmware upgrade, and you'll throw it into the OTA URL and hit start upgrade, walk away for 5 minutes or whatever, come back, let it refresh, and you should have 8.2.4 or 5 is out right now. And no, you don't have to compile it or nothing anymore. It's in default and defaulted in there, and the button will be automatically in the doing the multi-presses. So, bin file. So if you want to put your own custom bin file. All right, Raspberry, appreciate it. 0.4, okay, so you need 0.4. So it is 0.4 there. Bin file for TuyaConvert. So first of all, which I can't really cover it all here, there is a way to compile your own firmware with Gitpod. It's really simple to do. I did an old live stream of it. I don't know if they still they may have changed some stuff with it, but just go through and follow some of this, and you can build your own firmware. Just using Gitpod. It's really easy to do, and there's a whole, you can see it's not that hard to do. You just sign up your account, you're putting in the link, and then you get basically, it's kind of like your own. I would highly recommend, Aaron, once you do build your own bin file, flash it to a Moes or a Node MCU. And that way, in case you do have a bad build or a bad bin file, that way it's just on a Node MCU, which of course is super simple. You just flash it again with a USB cable before you start flashing it to some device that does not, you can't solder to, like a plug or whatever. But then once you have the bin file, let me cycle that thing again. Hold up. So I don't know, there's multiple ways you can do this. is I like to use, there's multiple apps you can use. There's, let's see. I closed it. Let me log into it. New site. 4, I think. Yeah. Let me shrink this over. So you can see I have multiple copies of TuyaConvert. I would just rename them when I pull down a new copy to play with. But basically, just grab your bin file and however you want to get it on the Pi, what kind of browser or SCP or SSH, whatever you want to use, you need to do a file transfer. You can even throw it on a web server and use a wget, however you want to do it. It's up to you. And then if you throw it in files, and all you have to do is throw your bin file in files. Now, one thing you do need to make sure is you see the size of these bin files. Don't compile you a bin file with tons of sensors and everything in it. Because if it's too big, over like I think it's 5, I think 2. There's a stopgap in the script that it will look if it's bigger than the 500K that you can flash to it with TuyaConvert, it'll just won't show the bin file. So put your bin file that you've tested that's under 500K in here, and then it'll just pop up in the menu. Cause see, I have like one called Latest Mine. It's 488, and then all I do when I flash TuyaConvert, I hit the button, boom, turn around. I actually sit there and look at the Wi-Fi controller. I'll see it pop up, and then I just go to that IP address and I'm done. So they make it very simple for TuyaConvert. The biggest part is the biggest learning curve is going to be going through the Gitpod stuff and just knowing how to cut one down. With to not all the features and stuff in it. Like there's the light version or whatever without all the sensors. So, but that's a whole. I did a live stream way back. It was probably a year ago or more. So it's probably embarrassing, but hey, go have fun. Go pick on me a little bit. It's up to you. So, and I know I kind of ran through it real quickly, but jump into, pop in the Discord. And if you need help trying to do some of that, I mean, there's several of us in there that'll probably help you out and get going. So, but other than that, so that's about it. At least we got a bunch of halfway, right? We got halfway on the dimmer. I'll have to get with the app on that one, and then I'll finish the rules on the garage door opener. So I'll call the garage door opener success. So it's always cool to figure out how to basically back up the firmware on some of these devices. Yeah, and Linear Burn is Linear Burn inside Discord, and well, if you want to play with one of those dimmers, so. I got the fail emote. Oh yeah, that's. Do you have the link to that? I can share. I think I can go find it. I think Blackadder shared it earlier. Let me see. And Blackadder has a website that he did. Here it is. If you want a bunch of different firmwares for Tasmoda that is pre-built, there's like one of them that scripts are not put in. I see people asking for scripts. The same thing for Zigbee. He already has some full bin files built here with all the extra rules, the battery powered Tuya sensors. He's even got this platinum one that is you can't OTA at all. So don't even try. It has serial only. I guess they tried to figure out exactly how the biggest. I don't know how big is that bin file. Um, let's see. I was curious. 824 kilobytes. So yeah, I don't think that one's gonna fit on an OTA. So, will it show in YouTube? The halfway. The halfway. It's called the AD. Maybe we can get an ADD emote that where you halfway jump from one project to the other, right? So, yeah, it should show. It should show on YouTube. So, all right, fellas and gals, if anybody is out there, appreciate you hanging around and see you in a little bit. I don't think that's set up for the 2 meg device for that because it's only partitioned for the 1 meg flash. ADHD emote, that would be me. So, yeah, that would be. I wonder if we could. So, okay. Well, y'all take it easy and stay safe out there and have a good one.